So, hello everyone, and I welcome you all to the Empire Magazine Leadership Podcast. And I'm Vaishnavi from Empire Magazine, and today we have with us the founder of MUM Leadership Model, Hasina Ranaivo. So, it's our honor having you right over here, and thank you for giving your precious time to us. Welcome.
Yeah, hi everyone. Very happy to be here with you to talk more about me and the MUM leadership model. Okay,
So, can we begin with our questions?
okay, right.
Okay. So, what does leadership posture actually mean in practical terms for leaders operating in certain environments for you?
Okay, so for my side, I think I will talk about Madagascar because it is a perfect spot for uncertainty in leadership. So, what can I say is that leadership posture means remaining grounded when everything around you is unstable. So infrastructure is fragile, funding is very limited, um, systems are very slow, political environments are sensitive. And I think as an entrepreneur, but also as a woman entrepreneur, it is very important to notice that you were tested twice on your competence, on your legitimacy. And, posture means you do not internalize doubt projected onto you. You stabilize others, even when you are being evaluated, constantly evaluated. And I think in fragile environments, your emotional steadiness becomes your leadership capital.
Okay. So we come to next question that after more than 20 years working with executive and public leaders, what blind spot do you consistently see at highest level of power?
Well, what I could see is first leaders compensating for insecurity with excessive control. So this is the first thing. The second one is that leaders equating visibility with authority. Also, leaders underestimating how much informal authority or informal power structures shape outcomes. And for women, an additional blind spot exists. Um, we have many systems will unconsciously um, question female authority. So women leaders must master competence and emotional discipline at a higher, what can I say, threshold, just to be perceived as equally legitimate. So that pressure is rarely acknowledged.
Okay. So the next question is, you have said that leadership failures are rarely about lack of competence, but rather than lack of alignment. So can you help us understand that distinction between it?
Yes, what I think is in fragile context or in uncertain context, competence gets you access, but alignment keeps you standing.
Okay.
Uh, so, as an entrepreneur or as a woman entrepreneur, you often operate in rooms where you are the only woman. You must negotiate, but we can say you may be the younger person in the room as well. You must negotiate with older male power structures. You must balance firmness and diplomacy carefully. If you're not internally aligned, the pressure will fragment you. Alignment protects your currents under scrutiny, so then alignment help you to stand up and to go through things, even if you are being competent is not enough anymore, because you can be challenged from everywhere in every time.
Okay. Okay, next question. You're currently designing the MUM leadership model. So, what triggered you to build something new rather than the simply refine existing framework?
Yes, I think it's a logical answer according to the previous question. Um, I've, it's been for more than 20 years that I'm working in the leadership field. Um, Most global leadership frameworks were not designed for informal economies, fragile institutions, gendered authority barriers, and they were not designed for women leading within patriarchal culture layers. So the MUM leadership model integrates emotional regulation, uh, because I would like to talk about human empowerment. It's not no more women empowerment, but human empowerment, ethical authority, structural awareness, and gender conscious leadership. So I think this model reflects lived complexity, not just kind of theoretical stability, you know.
Okay, so next one is how does MUM leadership differ from the traditional leadership models?
I think traditional leadership models assume access to resources and institutional support. Um, but in many emerging contexts, you build with a limited capital. That is a reality. You negotiate with power asymmetry. That is one another reality. You lead without safety nets. So the MUM model recognizes invisible labor, especially the invisible emotional and relational labor people carry while leading. So it integrates resilience with responsibility. So I think it's the main difference between traditional models and the MUM leadership model.
Okay, thank you. Uh, and next one is that you work extensively in fragile and complex contexts. What fundamentally changes in leadership when certainty disappears?
Definitely, in our reality, certainty is very rare. It's not often. But when certainty disappears, authority becomes relational, not positional. Trust becomes your main infrastructure. And when I'm talking about trust, I'm talking about inner trust, self trust. Regulation becomes survival. So, as an entrepreneur, or as a young entrepreneur, or as a women entrepreneur, when crisis hits, you cannot afford visible emotional collapse. You are observed very intensely. So leadership becomes disciplined emotional management combined with strategic adaptability. So I think it's the main thing which changes when certainty disappears.
Okay. You often emphasize narrative and legitimacy. So, why is storytelling so central to public leadership today?
Uh, because when systems are weak, I think narrative builds cohesion. So I think that's why Harvard Kennedy School uh, organize a public narrative courses for leaders, for global leaders. Because for leaders, storytelling is also reclamation. It reframes authority beyond traditional masculine scripts. So storytelling is us to redefine what strength, real strength, looks like. Calm, grounded, ethical, firm without aggression. Those are qualities of global leaders, global adaptive leaders for a nation, for a world, a most challenging world. We are living in a very challenging world now, and uh, qualities like being calm, being grounded, being ethical, being firm without aggression are very necessary.
Okay. In politically sensitive or crisis-driven environments, what does ethical authority actually looks like?
I think it means refusing informal shortcuts, even when they are normalized. So it calls for courage, holding boundaries respectfully. So it means sometimes being okay with losing some power, not weaponizing influence. Ethical authority also means not overcompensating by becoming harder than necessary to be taken seriously. So I think true authority does not imitate dominance. It embodies steadiness.
You have introduced a concept of inverted inclusivity. So, for our global audience, can you please unpack that, what it means actually?
Yes, I'm talking about inverted inclusivity because I've seen that, and a lot here in my country, that the marginalized are often rural women, informal workers, young girls without access to education, but also young young boys who is graduated but are jobless. So inverted inclusivity means designing leadership systems starting from them, not as beneficiaries, but as an architects. So, for example, as a women entrepreneur, I know how exclusion operates subtly. That is why inclusion must be intentional, structurally, not symbolic. So, asking those entrepreneurs, those marginalized people to create, to design the model of leadership they needed, so the system will be adapted to them. They don't have to adapt themselves to the system because the system is doesn't don't accept them.
Okay. So, do you believe in historical leadership models excluded women structurally, culturally, or both?
I think it's both. Why? Because structurally, access to capital, for sure, networks, policy influence. Culturally as well, because expectations about obedience, silence, uh, softness. Even today, even as mindset evolve, and I know that it's time to change. Being a woman entrepreneur a path of resistance. You negotiate credibility continuously every time, every day. You prove sustainability continuously every time, every day. You justify ambition continuously. It is improving, but it is still a demanding journey. So it's eternal journey.
Okay. So, when a crisis hits, what is the first internal discipline that leaders must train? A leader must train.
I think it is, what can I say, that nervous system control. I think it's the one. If you succeed to manage your nervous system control, it's okay, especially when you're a leader, especially when you're a young leader, especially when you're a woman leader, because society tolerates male anger more than female intensity. I've seen that. Female emotional expression is judged faster. So discipline is not about suppression, but it is a regulation. So I think that is a power when you can handle your nervous system control.
Okay. How can leadership control driven leadership to consciousness driven leadership without sacrificing the performance?
I think control-driven leadership feels safer in unstable systems. Uh, but it exhausts teams and reinforces fear. You know, consciousness-driven leadership builds shared leadership and responsibility, creates psychological safety, um, honors complexity. Um, for for leaders, this shift is powerful. We don't have to replicate rigid masculine control models to perform. Performance and consciousness are not opposites. They can go together. Just a question of balancing them.
Looking ahead 10 years, what type of leadership mindset will struggle or survive?
Um, I think without no hesitation, ego-centered, rigid, uh, exclusionary leadership. I think the future of leadership belongs to adaptive leaders, emotionally regulated leaders, gender conscious leaders, and leaders who can operate with limited resources and still preserve integrity.
If you had opportunity to redesign leadership education globally, what would you remove or would you introduce in it?
I think the first, which is essential, is a gender aware power analysis. I think it's starting from the basics. We have to be aware of the gender power analysis, emotional regulation training, decision making under scarcity, leadership in fragile context. Um, and I think leadership education must reflect the global south, and I mean it, the global south reality, not only stable Western institutions. But I think global South reality can teach many, many important things in leadership for the future.
Okay, Hasina, thank you for all the answers. You have beautifully answered all your questions. So now I'll just come to rapid fire question, okay? Just one word or one sentence answer by your choice. So what's the one word that defines powerful leadership today?
Legitimacy,
Okay. Second one, what would you choose? Like control or consciousness?
consciousness,
Okay. Leadership is influence or responsibility.
responsibility,
Uh, a book every leader must read.
leadership on the line by Ron Eifetz, especially for leaders navigating risks and resistance.
Okay. One habit leaders must eliminate immediately.
Seeking validation instead of building substance.
Okay. Thank you, Hasina, for your precious time. I'm grateful to have you on Empire Magazine Leadership Podcast Series. Thank you very much.